Now, Twitter dubbed him the most hated man in Australia, but after his brief stint on The Bachelorette. But now David Whitco has lashed out at Sam Frost, calling her a bully. When asked what David was really like in a recent Q&A session online, Sam claimed that David was, quote, exactly how he was portrayed on the show. David retweeted the comment, writing, "We spoke for a total of 10 minutes and she knows me. What about that donation I made to your charity at the initial meeting? You're being a bully, Sam."
Oh, for the love of God.
Ooh, if you're acting like such a bully. He's now, you could say, starting a campaign of bullying against her after one comment.
You only have to look at the clip of him lashing out at her for daring to reject him, and he's just trouble. He's hard work.
Oh, but at the same time, I remember chatting about this item with you when it first appeared, and you pulled all of us up, which I think was good. We were being quite mean about him. Which wasn't fair either.
It's very difficult to talk about a show that's on your own station, but I think the thing you have to remember is that shows like that, and shows like ours, all depend on people coming on and being guests.
Occupation, tattoos.
Okay.
We've all heard that you love the tattoos.
You know what? I gotta break it to you guys. Anyone who feels threatened by him or whatever the problem is their own insecurities. And I think that it is a load of rubbish that anyone would have this theory that I care about materialistic bullshit, which I don't. At all. I am the last person on the planet that will date someone for their status. That is the most offensive thing anyone can say about me. I mean, I'm trying to figure out who everyone is and who they are as people. I couldn't give a flying what, like, he's a soccer player. Oh, that doesn't make me rip off my T-shirt and go, well. And if that's what kind of person that you think I am, then you can leave.
What's happening right now? Exactly why I should leave.
4-3.
What are you doing?
Kyrgios, code violation, audible obscenity, point penalty.
It's normal? This stuff's normal? I would appreciate why you weren't trying to stop as soon as it started happening.
I did.
No, you didn't. You're jumping.
Kyrgios is walking a fine line here.
What are you doing?
Johnson.
Didn't say anything when it was happening. Nothing. Probably just now I'm retiring and go home.
Game and first set. Johnson. 7 games, 2 sets.
Looks like he's done.
You need any help, Robbie?
Well, incredible. What is it about Shanghai and Nick Kyrgios, Robbie? Emotions getting the better of him, and he's off.
Controversial documentary on the men's rights movement has had screenings in Melbourne cancelled after a petition claimed the film was misogynistic propaganda. The Red Pill was made by a woman to look at whether feminism has demonised men for their masculinity. The filmmaker found many of the arguments from the men's rights movement convincing and reveals this in the documentary.
Well, no one will be talking about it.
Can I say something here?
Fair enough. People should be able to have their say, and these safe spaces and this kind of blanket ban on things because it might upset people. It's appalling.
No, but this has been described, the people in this, as the sexist cesspit of the internet.
Who cares?
I do,
who
because
cares?
if what they're saying incites hate against women, I don't think that should be something that's in the film.
No, you don't have to agree with it, but it doesn't mean you can ban it. If someone's coming here saying, kill women, that's a problem. That's no good. If someone's coming here saying, you know what, men should have more rights, or feminists are, oppressing us, or, or they're sexist or have stupid views or whatever, that's not hate speech. That's just people being idiotic.
And it should be a discussion.
I would disagree with that.
Anyway, we'll never know.
It's not hard to find these. If you want to find the information, you can watch things online. It's not hard to find this anyway. So banning it doesn't,
Yeah.
Hello, I'm a feminist, and I'm proud to be a feminist. And a lot of what your followers,
Justin Bieber,
they
when
were
his
followers who said incredibly racist things about her.
Some mean people
So
Yeah,
why
and
then...
I went on CNN and I said it was horrible,
So
and I
then-
said it was terrible.
so
But
then
I'm
why
not
don't you
responsible for
take
what they say. I'm
more
responsible for what I say.
of a consequence of what you say? Because I think
Dead.
Quench Forrest
You know...
and all the stuff you did with Gamergate.
Well, you know, I do...
I and most Australians want our immigration policy radically reviewed and that of multiculturalism abolished. I believe we are in danger of being swamped by Asians. Between 1984 and 1995, 40% of all migrants into this country were of Asian origin.
You said that you would leave the embassy if Chelsea Manning was granted clemency. It sounds like what you really meant was you will leave the embassy if you can come to terms with them about your case. Nothing really to do with Chelsea Manning.
In the end, Barack Obama, wanting, I guess, to look tough, said that that my offer had nothing to do with Chelsea Manning being granted clemency. So there's no quid pro quo. Manning's getting clemency.
But on your side, you said that if Chelsea Manning was released, then you would leave. You would leave the embassy. She is, or at least will be.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said that I would accept extradition to the United States.
Right. Same thing. So I don't understand why now it seems contingent on striking some kind of deal with the United States about their case against you. You didn't mention that before.
Because I'm not an idiot. I'm not a complete idiot.
Would you please welcome the happy couple, I just can't help but think you wish you'd played that a little bit cooler, buddy. I mean, you're really cringing.
I never thought I was a crier, but obviously I am.
Yeah. Are you? Now I have to ask this one straight up. Are you two still together?
Well, I'd like
it's
to
been
think
a rough
so.
afternoon.
Cindy, of course we are.
Okay.
Very happily.
I've seen all the articles. I'm pregnant, apparently.
Sorry, that raised a doubt in my mind, obviously.
Yeah. We'll come to that because, you know, Jared's already told us earlier that he's here if you need. Now, Stu...
Precious Stu?
Yeah.
It's unfelt.
Yeah.
I'm just fat if I look pregnant.
That looks pregnant. But...
We do need to talk about Jared.
Okay.
You found it hard to watch.
Oh,
just then, that bit where you were breaking his heart into a million tiny pieces.
Like really smashing it in loads of pieces.
Yeah, like pulverising it. I don't think
really, mashing it.
No, I can't get it.
Could you have done it at the resort so he didn't have to walk so far back?
Or got a buggy or something.
Yeah.
I feel awful. That was the worst thing I've ever done.
Well, was there any part of you that kind of thought you should have done it earlier so that it wasn't as painful?
No, because I wasn't ready earlier.
Right.
Like I was fighting the whole time till the end. And I just couldn't deny I loved this one.
Oh, well, I think she said like.
No, she said like love.
Well, 100% this girl. 100%.
But you invited her on your yacht one other time and she went, no.
Yeah,
so did you think, nah, I can still get this chick? I swear to God, if I go on this show, I can still get her.
Well, he did it.
Yeah, he did. He did, but yeah, is that...
No, I don't like being told no, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
I know.
The thing is I met him for 1 second and I was like, yeah, a guy that goes, I've got a boat. I'm like,
I didn't say that.
Okay, whatever.
I think I said my daddy's got a boat.
Okay, well, I was like, oh, any guy that does that, I was like, he just wants like a model or like someone famous, and I was like, nah. And then when he came on the show, I was like, oh, he's committed.
Yeah.
And that's when I went, and took a bit, and then I fell in love with him.
Oh, it
sounds so lame, but
it's not lame at all. But I have to say it's funny. I think you've done the classic woman thing where you say that you want one thing, but what you actually go for is something else. Because, as you said, you know, Jared, intellectually, you think that's ticking all your boxes. You said in the beginning, I just want a down-to-earth, normal guy who wants to get married and have kids. What you've chosen is a millionaire who's already married and has had a vasectomy.
How do you know he's
a dramatic car crash,
It's just ridiculous if you're insinuating anything.
a visit to hospital, a police raid on his lavish home.
What are the rates about Salim?
And now his right-hand man has been charged with murder.
It's almost been a soap opera.
There's never a dull moment in the life of Salim Mahaja, and this is all in the last month alone.
Aisha, you got 5 minutes to give me a call. If you don't call me in 5 minutes, I'm gonna wreck your mum and your dead.
The first real insight into Salim's behaviour at home. Abusive, controlling, terrifying.
وحياة القرآن وحياة الله living today.
A Current Affair obtained this exclusive vision from a concerned friend who wanted to show the world the type of man Salim really is.
Mercedes Corby has just touched down in Bali as she prepares to bring sister Chappelle back to Australian soil for the first time in 13 years. The convicted drug smuggler is now just days away from flying home.
Chappelle's sister packed her bags for Bali, this time with pleasure.
How do you feel today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad to be going over there to bring my sister home.
It was meant to be a low-fuss departure, but the thrill of the reunion was hard to conceal.
How do you feel about Chappelle finally coming back to Australia?
How do you think I feel?
Chappelle knows Mercedes is on the way. It's been circled on the calendar since February 2014 when she was given parole. The former beauty student living a modest life near the island's popular beaches. In recent months, her focus has been getting her body into shape and avoiding anything that could compromise her freedom.
Chappelle, are you looking forward to going back to Oz? Just a quick question. Are you looking forward to going back to Australia? Chappelle?
Chappelle left Australia in 2004, an unknown Gold Coast girl on a surfing holiday. She will return a convicted drug smuggler aged 39 with a name and face recognisable to most Australians.
How do you think she's going to go when she moves back to Australia?
I don't know.
It could be a difficult time for her.
Thank you. That's all for now.
Her last days in Bali will be under the scrutiny of the authorities. On Saturday, May 27, she will report for the last time to the parole office and sign the logbook. The sentence then officially complete. Chappelle's been gone so long her passport has expired. The Australian consulate will issue her a new one on the day she leaves. And the very first stamp will be from Indonesian immigration officials, banning her from returning to the country. She'll be taken into custody one last time for an express trip to the airport and deported on a direct flight to Queensland.
The lounge is empty now, but when Chappelle Corby walks through the arrival doors of Brisbane International, it's expected this area will be jam-packed with supporters and curious spectators. Officially, the Federal Police say she will not receive any special treatment, but I have been told that officers are planning to shield Chappelle and her family, providing them an escort out of the terminal.
There's no chance the homecoming will be private or intimate.
You must be totally excited though. This has been a long time coming.
Yes.
Darren Curtis, 9 News.
The woman who pretended to have cancer and to this day still won't tell the truth that she knew she didn't. Her struggle with terminal brain cancer won the sympathy of hundreds of thousands of followers on social media here and overseas, which she then parlayed into a nice little earner, a wellness app, a cookbook and celebrity appearances. But well before she became famous, Belle established a habit of astonishing fabrications involving myriad serious medical conditions, seemingly designed to gain maximum sympathy. You won't believe the diseases she's had.
Someone who was really prominent during my childhood was stalking me.
At the time, Belle was living in Perth and was a frequent contributor to an online skateboarding forum. But instead of chatting about skateboarding, Belle was telling her friends an elaborate fairy tale, supposedly from her hospital bed, in not one, but 3 admissions for life-saving heart surgery. Were you in hospital at the time that you were posting these?
No.
I mean, you go into extraordinary details. I had surgery about 7 hours ago. The doctor comes in and tells me the draining failed and I went into cardiac arrest and died for just under 3 minutes. I had the most intense bruising from the paddles when they electrocuted me back to consciousness. Minus the wires and constant throwing up of blood. Anyway, the procedure failed and I died.
Welcome to A Current Affair. I'm Leila McKinnon with you tonight while Tracy is on assignment. Here at A Current Affair, we've always given it to you straight and told it like it is, so let's get into it. Tonight, one of our most senior reporters is facing serious charges involving child pornography offences. Ben McCormack, a 25-year veteran of the Nine Network, was arrested today and charged by New South Wales Police with using a carriage service for child pornography material. We should stress the pictures you're seeing now are blurred images from police, not done by us here at A Current Affair. And while justice must take its course, and given the serious nature of the allegations, Nine has taken a strong position and immediately suspended Ben McCormack. A short time ago, McCormack was released from police custody. A Current Affair has a long history of pursuing offenders in these types of cases, and we intend to cover this story without fear or favour. We stress these charges relate to Ben McCormack's alleged personal conduct and in no way reflect his behaviour within A Current Affair or the Nine Network.